always the stuff that you build that's hard to work on. Welcome to this video. Intro scene. If you've watched any videos on my channel, you've probably seen this thing. I'm gonna call it an engine stand. It's probably, from your standpoint, looks like junk. But the crazy part is you've seen it, you've seen me use it. What I do with it, I'll explain in a second. But I don't think anybody actually knows why I have it. And the crazy part, as much as I deal in Jeeps, if you haven't figured that out, it's not for the 4.0. My brother started the machine shop, and during the crash of the world, COVID, whichever one you'll call it, flat tappet lifters went to a disaster. So he was building engines, sending them out, knowing they're good, and the flat tappet cam, that whole process I'm not going to explain, was getting eat up. So he was having to get the motors brought back in, go through it again, then send it back out, just on a hope and a prayer that it was good. So he come to me, he said, he knew I had the stand, like I said, not built for a 4.0. He was like, let's sit down one day and, we'll just split the work, and let's make it where we can run a 4.0 on there. And I was like, it's a wonderful idea. So let me show you around it, and then I'll explain why I have the thing. So let's just start from the ground up. You see this little base plate right here? That is like a welder, cart, trolley, whatever you want to call it. My mom got on Gov Deals, and there was like this huge welder, whatever, it doesn't change the story. I think she gives $7 because nobody wanted it. I had no use for the welder, took the welder, scrapped it, and these casters are amazing. This combination has to weigh close to 1,000 pounds, and you can roll it around like nothing. So that's that. I built it up, and if you can kind of notice in that area, I'll get more particular here one day. But that forward is where your engine sits, and then I've just got a piece of exhaust goes across there. Luckily, shoots out there, which I got a slip on, I'll show you. But angle iron, that is, when I bought a skid steer, I was buying equipment, and they had these little pieces of angle iron crates that they were shipping equipment in. Luckily, I used that. So I come up a piece of angle iron, built off back here, and then you can see that's just a regular fuel tank. And then you see this little table, you think you know what it's for, but you don't. I'll explain soon. Common sense radiator with a fan. This is just laying here, so if you had to work on the fuel pump, whatever. And then like back here, I've got a harness for 91 through 95, and that one's actually running off coil pack. Won't get too technical on that, but if you understand Jeeps, one day I'm going to sit down and make what I'm going to call the ultimate harness. It'll be, you want to tell the story, Ellie? If you know, the older computers had this one ginormous plug, like 65 plugs, and then they went to the 3-wire or 3-plug, got 3 individual plugs in 96. And what's crazy, basically, they use the same sensors. Chrysler just sucks. They changed the connector. Like on the oil pressures, they went from a single wire to a 2-wire to a 3-wire. Pretty sure they went to a 4-wire, and then they went back to a 1-wire. But even like the 2-wire, they had different plugs. So kind of goes at once, kind of just contradicts what I just said. But anyways, most of the sensors that makes this thing run has the same function. They just take different connectors. So I think even like basically 91 through coil pack, I'm gonna be able to take 2 computers and wire in all the plugs. That way I can put any year motor on there, any model, doesn't matter, and it'll run it. One computer, I don't know what I was saying. But we got it, we're a 4.0 bolt on here. I'm gonna take this off and show you kind of the original roots of the stand. But we got it on there, and that's what he was having to do cam brake in. So had a radiator, no transmission cooler needed. But it was so aggravating, like again what I was just saying, Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, WJ, ZJ, the freaking belt routing, they change it constantly. It's so annoying. So we was just trying to run a stand. He was building brand new motors. Well, didn't have any accessories on it. It was just an engine. So we tried cutting this bracket, cutting this. The thing is wired to charge an alternator, but we'll get there. Needed to run an alternator and the water pump to keep the motor cool for him to break it in. So we went back and forth brackets. He bandsawed an entire bracket half, and then blah, 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 blah. It was just a lot of trouble. So I was sitting there, I was like, there's got to be a way around this. So figured out didn't necessarily need the alternator. it was a plus, but didn't need it. Then I tried to run like a super short belt. I had it set up, but one day I was sitting there, I was like, you know what, let's find a way around this. So if you look towards the bottom, went to Harbor Freight, and they don't need to know it, but I've got, I'll show you when I pick the camera up. It's a transfer pump for like a, I don't know what it's for, it's fluid. It's not for a motor, I can guarantee you that. But it works freaking amazing. So plug that up when you're ready, and then I was going down the clearance aisle one day and I seen the charger, battery charger for a Power Wheels, and it was on clearance because nobody had the plug. Well, it turns out the plug is the same plug that every freaking battery charger uses, so got it on some Harbor Freight cables, so that takes care of the battery for the most part. And here's one of them pumps, 8th horsepower, so that's got it covered. I just put 1-inch hose straight on the threads for water hose, so that pumps the fluid, keeps it cool. No, he runs a thermostat, I don't, because this right here, if the engine comes out of a wreck and I want to check it for cracks or something like that, I'll run it, take the thermostat out, and if an engine is bad and has a cracked head, it'll continuously produce bubbles in there. So that's how I run it. He's got a cap he uses like that because this motor will get hot. And then electric fan, as simple as it gets, it's zip tied up there, of course. These are the cheap, I mean, that's just a break in the hot. So like, I know when they're about to kick on, I'll just stick this little pick across there. I don't even think Justin knows. He's got that fan on there backwards, but it keeps it cool. When you're done, you just take it off. So yeah, back here, that's like an intake that he uses. You can see it's busted. We just got it JB welded and Permatex on there. But that's the one he uses. I usually have more complete engines. Then there'll just be some random sensors, bolts and stuff you need. There's wrench for the crank sensor in case you got to take it off. Got a fuel pressure gauge just to make sure we're still holding fuel pressure. So yeah, that's about got the 4.0 covered, I reckon. So yeah, I think, pretty sure you know, but if you didn't know, I run a salvage yard. So that's kind of why I wanted to get this done where we can run 4.0s. Pretty much every single engine that leaves my shop, it either run in the Jeep, or if it was a weird situation or a wreck, it gets thrown on this stand. So when I sell a used engine, I know like 98% sure that it's good. People suck, warranty. I figured out it's easier to do this, be extra sure that it's good when it leaves. So that's that. But let me get this off here and I'll show you where it actually started. I changed my mind. It's fixing to get dark, so I'm gonna go show you the best I can of the original equipment. So like I said, I run a salvage yard and I do fix up some wrecks and I fix up just random Jeeps. So if you're familiar with 99 to 04 Grand Cherokees, not gonna be too specific because you're here about the engine stand, but those motors just seem to fall apart. And I've become like really good at working on them because I worked on so many of them. So I mean, you can find a Grand Cherokee with a 4.7 or a truck, whatever it is, doesn't change the story, that needs motor work. I'll explain it on another video. It's kind of a unspoken problem, but they got aluminum head with a metal valve seat. When you turn it off hot, the valve seat falls out. Piston comes up, hits that, chews the piston up, and then carries on. If you can catch it early, you can fix the head, put a piston in it, and you're good to go. That's the kicker, is I can find them all day long cheap because all of them had bad motors. All of them had freaking nice interiors, paint jobs, nicest, you know, the limited ones are gonna have the 4.7. So I was sitting there, I was like, man, it takes me roughly 3 hours to get the heads off, check and see if it's buildable, and then I've got to pull the bottom end off, change whatever pistons, hone it, check all that stuff out, put the heads back on, run it, and then it may not even be staying with that Jeep. I may be pulling that motor out to go in another Jeep. So I was sitting there thinking, like, let's build a stand to sit these on where it kind of hangs off the front, if you noticed how that one's designed. That way I can work on it and I can put it back together and I can run it. So it's like a multi-purpose thing. The kicker is, at the time, and I still don't actually know, but I think I got an idea, there's what they call skim, which means the key has a chip that has to match all this stuff, and all this stuff has to talk to each other, and it's confusing, it's over my head, CAN bus and all that stuff. So I was like, I don't have time to screw with that, so let's just take every single wire in the Jeep out and make it run. So yeah, that was the sole purpose of this stand until Justin come along and convinced me, so I haven't messed with 4.7s, but when I had it on the 4.7s, it was dialed. Light's not really cooperating, but this pallet, I'll sit up here with the SkyTrack. If you look, that's like a radiator hose with 2 studs, and I'll try to show you on the other one. That's the gauges. Look, right there is my key tied to some stuff. Maybe another key for another harness, but that is the entire harness out of a Grand Cherokee from absolute front to back. Let me get up there and see if I won't hurt myself. All right, so I'm awkwardly standing here doing the best I can. But you can see I had custom exhausts for both sides, mufflers for both sides. They hung off the side of it. Had the air box. I mean, that's the fuse box, has all the fuse stuff, grounds. Right here is the steering column. Got a key. I took the steering wheel off, no need for it. Wouldn't really have a reason to drive it. So all them wires that I was trying to show you, that's the point of this little platform right here. I had every wire from the inside of a body, I guess is the word. So I had a mound of them. I think I had the steering column right here with the gauges. I'm pretty sure I can dig up an old video. But then your 4.7 hung right over here. I'm trying to think. That was a stud for something. And when I get this off, I'll show you better. But that's a hole for the starter. There's 2 spots where those little studs go for that custom radiator hose. But now that motor bolted about right here. So once you got it on the stand, I time myself usually like 17 to 19 minutes to get the heads, timing cover, pretty sure oil pan, either way, off. So this took a little bit of time, but now to do that job, just golly. So I can't tell you how many 4.7s I've built on this stand, but I just haven't dealt with them here lately, so we changed it to 4.0. Let me get this motor off and we'll show you the rest of it. Oh yeah, I forgot to add, I always watch the oil pressure, make sure it's satisfying me. And like just as simple, like the starter, I had it on different flat terminals. I just use a alligator clip, so simpler the better. Takes me about, I would say about, I don't even know, I'm almost there, probably about 6 minutes to get a motor on there ready to run. But this one I'm taking off. So now that I got the motor off, you can tell what's kind of making more sense. The bell housing just kind of looks out there. So let me get it off just for visuals and I'll kind of finish the story up. I forgot to add, that's just AW4 bell housing. Probably doesn't change the story. But now you can see the orange marks right there. Those was the original Chrysler bolt pattern. And I built all this where it cleared the flex plate and all that stuff. And I even had to add this little piece right here for the starter. Bolt holes there and there. And you can see, we knew this bell housing would bolt up and bolt the motor to it. So I think that's the holes for the 4.0. And then I did a 2.5 the other day. And then down here, this little piece comes off and that's where the motor. So when Justin asked to make this, use it for a 4.0, I was like, I don't care. I said, I just want it to be bolt on temporary in case I ever want to go back to the 4.7s. So like this piece right here, bolts on, comes across there, bolts to the bottom of the bell housing, and that's about it. I don't know what that bolt's for, but you can see, where is it? That's where I was hanging that custom radiator hose. That was another custom radiator hose. I had a bungee cord set up. One stud broke off, but there had a bolt there and a bolt there to rest the exhaust on. Somewhere there's a stud for a ground. It's been a while since it's been on a 4.7. Randomly there was a stud for a ground. This one got broke off. There was a stud for a ground. There's a stud in there for a ground. This was after. Before, like I said, I was cranking it with the key. This was just, I don't care, it's got a crank. So that's why it looks so ugly. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up my engine stand. Not overly complicated video for my usual content, but several people have commented they just want to know what it's about. So that's that, and I think me and Justin both have agreed that we need to build something better in the future, a little nicer, a little more set up. But if you're self-employed and know stuff like this doesn't immediately pay you money, so this works, so why spend 2 or 3 days building an engine stand that looks better and does the exact same job? When you want to build an engine stand, Justin? Right after I get this belt put on. Okay. So it looks like we're building an engine stand tomorrow, but for now, appreciate you watching. Like I just said, this was a comment, so if you got anything, you know what to do. Have a good day. See if I can see it. No good anyways. No. It's always the stuff that you build that's hard to work on. Have a good day.